Are you familiar with the word idolatry? Idolatry is any time we elevate anything over the position of God. So we've been talking about Citywell, updating on what's going on, updating on some of our thoughts and changes and processes we've doing. And one of the biggest things that the network we were going to plant with, one of the biggest things that made me uncomfortable with them, even before we started the process, but I kept saying, no, they're fine. This is fine. And there's one saying that I hear constantly that just has always made me cringe, and especially now is super cringeworthy. And let me say, I love so many people within this network, and I'm not trying to hurt them. I'm not even naming them right now because I don't want to slander the bride of Christ. But here's the saying that they say: the local church is the hope of the world. The local church is the hope of the world. And here's the logic. It's that Jesus is our Savior, and Jesus works through the local church. The local church is the hands and feet of Christ coming to people. So we are bringing the hope of Jesus to the people. So we are the hope of the world. But here's the deal. We don't have the power to save people. We don't have the power to transform the lives of people and restore them from death to life, to bring them out of darkness into the glorious light. We don't have that power. All we can do is point them to the one that does. He is the hope of the world. Jesus Christ is the hope of the world. It is not the local church. It is Jesus and Jesus alone. He is the hope, not us, not the systems and programs and structures and organization we build. Something, again, Alan Hirsch said, is the mission of God has a church, and the church has God's mission. We're on a mission from God to serve, but we can't elevate our position to the place of the hope of the world. That's Jesus' seat, and we do not want to take that from him. So we see idolatry of the church, and it's running rampant. And the other thing we see is idolatry in the church. When we look around, we go, how is it that these pastors, these church leaders are falling left and right? And every time I open my news feed, I see another big name pastor. Guy, I listen to his podcasts and his sermons and read his leadership books, and how did he implode? How did no one stop it? How did no one reach him? How did no one care? It's because of idolatry. The people around him put him on such a pedestal, or her, but it's always him, on such a pedestal that they didn't hold him accountable. They didn't have the systems in place. Not him, oh no, it'll be fine. And it is idolatry. We idolize so many pastors and leaders in America. Actually, the idea of making these videos or this podcast is something I had multiple people bringing up to me for months, and I've not done it because of fear of this. I don't want to put myself on a platform. I want to put Jesus on the platform. I want to put the gospel on the platform, and not me. And so, I've said a few times through these different videos, I am not claiming to be the expert or the authority on this. I'm not trying to rip down what is already established as the church. I'm just trying to think through how can we continue to be better. And one of the things we need to do is do everything we can to be cautious against idolatry in the church and idolatry of the church. It has no place. God needs to be on the throne, and not a man, and not a building, and not a program, but Jesus and Jesus alone. He's the one who has the power to save. So I'm going to pause here, and next up, I want to talk about just a little bit of church history and some stuff we've discovered along the way as we've thought about what is the church and how should Citywell function.